Hello, we are on the air for another edition of San Francisco Uncorked here at Bay Area Video Coalition. And I am very excited to have another spectacular guest on the show, whom I've seen perform many times by the name of Landra Tyme. Welcome, Landra, to the show.
Thank you, John, for having me. I'm very excited.
Well, I'm excited to have you, as I do all my guests. You know, one of the things I love is that all of my guests are interconnected in some way. And
it's a weird web.
Like my first Nick Candido, and then Mandy Coco, and then Florence Frightingale,
all
and
friends
now
of mine.
That's so wonderful.
I hate them to death.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think that you have anything to be jealous of. You're quite standing on your own in your own right as a performer.
I try so hard.
I don't see any evidence of that. Any case, I saw you first at of course Cocktail Gate, where I've seen many people perform. I also saw you at the Lookout. And I know that you've known my friend Nick Candido for a long time now, and you performed all over the city. Yeah. And from Cocktail Gate, now you and Nick are going to spin off your own show. Can you tell us a little bit about
a couple of them. The first one being a show called The Brony Mitchell Show. It's debuting in August 6th at the Lookout. Mm-hmm. It's with Scarlett Letters as well. She's going to be my co-host.
I love Scarlett.
She is fantastic.
She'll be on the show one day soon.
She's good. She's a great talker. Yeah. And we want it to be kind of this hybrid of live music and performance and drag queens and artists doing things that they wouldn't normally do at a drag show. Mm-hmm. So they're coming over to my house and we're learning duets and I'll play the guitar or they'll do a monologue. Scarlett's doing this crazy Stevie Nicks applies for a job at an ice skating rink monologue at the first show.
Perfect.
It's all I really need to say.
Well, you do a good Joni Mitchell impersonation.
That's all I want to do for every day of my life is dress up like Joni Mitchell.
And what inspired you to? What's your connection with Joni? I know there's a story. Well,
I was kind of half named after her. My boy name is Mitchell. Uh-huh. My sister Carly is named after Carly Simon. My dad named us after his favorite artist. I'm also named after my grandfather Mitchell, but he said it was half.
Well,
and it took me. He kind of raised me, showing me a couple YouTube videos of Joni that really made huge impressions on me. And when I started branching out and discovering music on my own, she was the first person I really fixated on and went through every single album and learned every single word and read books and watched documentaries. And I just found so much meat in her story and her life of being this artist and wanting to paint, but also being popular for something that she's not as passionate about, which was singing and performing and learning how to kind of find a middle ground with that.
But there's another connection, because I just saw you perform with Katja Smirnoff Sky as Brony Mitchell, more or less. And I think I have a picture of that.
Oh, yeah?
So let me just go there. Yep, that's you. That's Katja Smirnoff Sky.
Yeah, we were screaming the Four Non Blondes song, What's Up? We didn't practice at all. I kind of just sprung it on her, and she did this falsetto over the...
Oh, yeah. It was a good blend because she's really high and falsetto, and you're good, more like...
the Brony Mitchell was coined by a friend of mine because I look like Joni Mitchell, but I sound like Johnny Cash, so I'm like the Brony Mitchell.
I love it because you bring, especially with Katja Sky, who has a style unto her own, you bring the opposite end of the spectrum, and you're kind of this folksy guitarist, writes and performs your own songs, but at the same time, you're dressed in this fabulous drag outfit, so it's like a nice juxtaposition.
That particular performance was really jarring because Katja, an amazing, amazing performer, actually, who I've known since I was a little kid.
Tell the story about how you met.
Oh, because our fathers go to the same country club. So Katya's older brother actually taught me to swim when I was a little kid. We were never close, but our families knew each other. And then when I first started doing drag, my dad called me and said, hey, I was on the golf course and I was talking to my buddy and he said, my son does drag too. And we were all showing pictures of each other and I gave her your number. And I was like, okay, Dad, that's great. Cool. I'll have another drag friend of the city. And then about half a week later, I get a message from Katja Smirnoff Sky, who I already was in love with, saying, I hear our fathers are friends. If you ever need anything, you just let me know. And she's been a huge resource for me.
That's so funny because you know how when you're growing up and you're just like, oh, I have a daughter about your age. Why don't you get together?
Exactly.
You're two human beings and I know you will get along.
But it was our father saying, "Oh, my son's a transvestite clown too."
That's a little bit smaller universe. So
Exactly.
You're kind of destined to get along more often than not. Anyway, let's get into some photos. I had asked you to bring some photos, and so I'm going to go through some of the photos that you brought, and then I also may, if we have time. Pulled some off the Facebook page.
Oh, I love a surprise.
Let's go to the first one.
Oh, this is one of my favorite performances. This is Nick Candido. He does the lights at a lot of these shows.
Is that him in the background?
Yeah, he's in the background. We have these kind of personalities that you do different numbers together, kind of Captain and Tennille, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, I love Captain and Tennille.
And we're kind of these middle-aged white people, winos, who always kind of misunderstand the assignment. And this was a version of the Pumped Up Kicks, the song about the Columbine shootings, done in this really campy, by the band Carmen. Really upbeat and like fun, totally not referencing the fact that it's about children dying. And we do it as
You're talking about the Foster the People
song. Yeah. A really, really dark song, completely redone to
I
not
totally
reference
got that
the weight of it.
When I read the lyrics, I go, this is
It's
about
really
like, shooting people
messed
with
up.
a kid. And maybe that was like, I don't get it.
And so there's a weird scat break in the middle, and it's just so stupid offensive. Oh, here we go. This is a picture from a party that I'm a part of. It's called Looks. It's at the second Monday of every month at the Powerhouse. They have a midnight walk-off. There's no performances, and drag queens come with their own crazy looks. And the winner of the midnight walk-off wins a custom oil portrait done by me of their look, and this is a picture of...
Oh, you're an artist.
Yes, I'm a painter, and I make music. I try to do everything.
Did you win yourself?
What? I was the second winner. Yes, I did. So I joined the month after I won.
Are you on the judges panel as well?
I'm not allowed to have an input, but I do tell them who I want to win, so kind of. And this is, of course, Vivienne Forevermore, her kind of alternate.
Well, the Powerhouse is a very interesting venue because it's a very sexual
venue.
It's almost a sex club.
It's almost a sex club, and what I love about the Powerhouse is it creates a radical space. Like, I'm not one to love being in or partaking in all these fetish or extreme sexual experiences, but I love being in those spaces because it fosters a really radical atmosphere.
Well, people are so accepting. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I just started doing drag myself.
Yes, of course.
And then, I don't want to talk about myself, it's about you, but we went, Piper Angelique
I love Piper.
who is like the host of where I perform, took us to this club, and we got in free, and they gave us all these drinks. I go like, I could live like this, you know? Totally.
You're on a different tier in society. It's really addicting. I think that's why a lot of people love drag so much, is you get to walk around, especially I think this is exclusive to San Francisco, where you walk around and people just treat you like royalty.
Oh,
they're
just
like, thank you for being
Well, if they look like you, I don't know about me.
Oh, it's not that hard.
My character, Dorothy Bovine, isn't quite up
Dorothy
to scale.
Bovine is beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
this is one that I'm most proud of. This was, I'm also in a girl group called the Speed Queens with Scarlet Letters and Ruby Blue Genderbender.
Ruby Blue, I love her.
I love Ruby Blue. And this was our pageant submission to the Tiara Sensation pageant at the DeYoung Museum. And we did this kind of commentary on a girl group switching parts. It was to a Chibo Mato, a Japanese band, a song called Deja Vu. And we built this big fabric box we climbed out of, and it was like this big music box, and there was choreography and death drops, and it was kind of the most intense venue I'd ever done before.
I can rest assured, whenever I go to see a production that you're in, there's going to be a high production quality. Even at like little bars like Cocktail Gate, like there's this massive dollhouse, remember, when Bo Mitchell, a.k.a. Rita Jambook. I love everything you're affiliated with has got high production quality.
I've really found this community that's so passionate about bringing all of this crazy art to the stage for no compensation, and the only thing you get out of it is knowing that you did it.
Well, that's the beauty of that approach, is because it's pure spirit. It's pure spirit. It's unadulterated, wonderful, from the heart. What inspires you?
Yeah, and you're the only one who doesn't get to enjoy it. You have to be on stage, and even if there's video or pictures, it's not the same as experiencing it. And
but you enjoy it afterwards. After
you get to enjoy.
And also, there is a deep satisfaction of knowing you nailed that number.
Yes, and the act of doing it is I think, so much more fulfilling than any kind of anything
Oh
in the
yeah,
world.
yeah. It's very cathartic. Okay, next
Oh,
one. Ooh,
this is when I
one's
played.
interesting.
This was a crazy.
Oh, is this Rocky Horror?
This is Rocky Horror.
I could tell by
I
the gold shorts right there, which is the
That
focus
is,
of my attention always.
Last year's the final Miss Tranny Shack, Shaka Korn as Rocky in the final, or the last year's Monster Show production of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was Janet in 3 different productions, like within this weekend.
Oh,
So
wow.
I got really good at it. But I had never even like learned any of the music. I'd only seen the movie once.
Really?
But this was just one of the most fun experiences to be a part of, that kind of history of saying I was Janet in a Rocky show.
Yeah,
in 4 Rocky shows.
That is something to brag about. That's one of those perpetual things. And I think that Hedwig is.
Yeah, there's Hedwig and there's.
By the way, you could do Hedwig.
I have been kind of trying to go there with the hair lately.
You
I
could
just think the
easily do
victory
Hedwig.
curls are so.
For sure. The Farrah.
The Farrah victory curls.
Okay, let's move on to the next
Oh,
one. I
this is
know
a
what this one
amazing
is.
family picture of the Cocktail Gate crew. This
Yeah.
was I think the last
The
Cocktail Gate.
Adams- you look like
the Madams family.
The Madams family. That's what
We
it was.
originally I wasn't going to be in the shoot. It was just going to be everyone besides me, and then I took a more predominant role in Cocktail Gate. I started doing the social media, and she's like, you know what, you can be Suppository Spelling, the matron of our clan. Said you get to be Debbie because
Oh, nice. Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
are Debbie
Yeah,
in a
pretty
lot of
much,
ways,
pretty
and I
much.
see that. And
Can you
I
name the performers from left
Oh,
to
of
right?
course. So there's Rita Dambook, who is Wednesday, Nick Candido, or Guido Candido in this case, myself, Suppository Spelling, the host of Cocktail Gate and Now Darkroom, Johnny Rocket,
And of course, down below.
and of course Florence Frightengale.
Who was
And I
on
don't
our
think-
show last
Yes,
time.
I don't think you can see Mikey, Dakota Pendant.
Oh,
Dakota was
Dakota was there
Pugsley.
too. Okay.
It was so much fun.
I loved that show. I remember that show.
Ugh, it was so curated, and she just gave us all of our numbers. Oh,
This next one.
Oh, this next one. This is my baby, my pride, and biggest number I ever done for
This is it, Mother.
Mother
is
Star
a
Search.
show.
So the drag community works, or at least I see it work in this way of previously Trainee Shack Star Search, now Mother Star Search, has acted as this debutante walk for drag queens, where when you start to get big and you have your moment, you compete in this pageant that you only get to do once, and you show them what you got, and you are kind of categorized in that generation of when you compete, and that number can be
Defining.
Very
Yes,
defining.
very
And so I did this
self-defining.
crazy cat number where I dressed Florence Frightengale and Dakota Pendant up like my actual cats, Benji and Wilbur. And I'm actually wearing my actual bathrobe that I didn't wash before the number I should have, where I get eaten by cats and contract rabies and go crazy. And it was...
Well, it looks like you're doing the eating right there.
Yes. Well, after the rabies, I throw tuna
I
at
see.
them, and it was...
see.
And to Captain and to Neil.
Oh,
Love will keep us
Captain.
together.
I'm looking for someone to do a duet. Maybe you and I can do a Captain.
I would love...
Because I want to wear that hat and do like Muskrat Love or something.
I've been looking for a reason to do Muskrat
Let's
Love
do.
because it's so stupid. Captain and to Neil...
And it's the perfect lip syncing con because you can do the Muskrat sound lip syncing and everyone would believe you.
This one, this is kind of what started...
Hold on. There we go.
This is kind of what started the whole live music thing for me. I didn't do it in drag for a very long time, and when my drag grandmother, Cookie Dough, passed away recently, and I was asked to perform at her memorial celebration at the Victoria Theatre, I was like, I'd like to play my guitar. I hadn't picked it up in a long time. And I sang an acoustic version of Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17, which was one of our favorite songs. We loved Stevie Nicks together. That was like our thing. And it was amazing. And I just got this crazy response. And I always thought my voice was too low to sing in drag. And just like the white-winged dove. Stuff like that. And that's when Katya booked me for the show. And it kind of started the snowball effect of now I have my own live music drag show, which is amazing.
I can't wait for your new show to come up. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about those details. Here's the next one.
This was a really exciting opportunity for me. Cookie Dough, before she passed, brought me with her clan to Great America, and I got to perform in front of the merry-go-round at their Pride Night.
Oh, wonderful.
And the funny thing about this performance is right at the end, Heclina is standing in front. Heclina's actually my boss. Huge drag queen in the city, if you don't know.
No, Heclina and Darcy have the
yes.
club SF Oasis.
So
for those who don't know.
Heclina was standing in front of right in front of the stage. My wig flies off, and I'm wrapped in rubber, and my friends are holding me back with rubber, and I lean over, and I almost fall on top of Heclina. No wig. I would have...
it's all part of the show.
Yes, it was all part of the show, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
could have
yeah.
just ruined my drag career. A big part about competing in Mother Star Search was getting on the Mother stage was a huge goal of mine, and this was my first performance after Star Search, the week after, and I didn't have anything prepared because I had spent all my energy on the Star Search number, and so I took an old painting I had and painted a new one over it in the course of a 6-minute Bjork song.
This is the one you're
Yes.
talking about.
So I wore almost nothing and just kind of painted on stage, and it was this crazy kind of out-of-body experience. I got oil paint
Very
everywhere.
Jackson Pollock, don't you think?
It felt very Jackson Pollock.
His
But
sort of
this was my
basis.
first time trying to bring painting into my drag of how can I make this on stage.
As a performance art.
Yes. Oh, I was very excited to be asked to do the main show of Darkroom for the first time because that was a big deal. And I didn't know any goth music because I'm not really a goth person. So the host or the guy who runs it, Kevin, sent me this song Tarantula by this Mortal Coil, I think is the name of the band. Heard it and then built this tarantula number where Scarlett, my friend, was like under this sheet and had all these spider fingers and a bunch of eyes painted on her face, and it was about like your internal beast. And I think it might have been too meta for people to pick up on, but
Let me go back to... Okay,
so she has these like claws, and I pull an apple out of her
Is this
out of
the
her
Darkroom
chest.
Theater? Or is
No,
it
this is the
party
Stud.
called the Darkroom?
Yes. So the Darkroom is the last Saturday of every month.
But let's talk about your upcoming show for
Okay.
a second, because
Absolutely.
I know I want to. That's coming up like within a week.
Yeah. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, I
Next
believe.
Thursday at the Lookout.
yeah.
and so it's just off Market Street.
It's at the Lookout. There's going to be performances kind of on the hour, starting 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, or closer to the hour. And kind of a mix of performance and live music. Scarlett and I are both doing like 7 numbers each.
So
And
it's those 3 core performers: Nick Candido, Scarlett
Yes.
Letters, and yourself, Brony
So
Mitchell.
yeah, so we've kind of created this drag collaborative called Tips, and we're going to be producing other shows. Another one we want to do is called Funky Town, which is more of a variety show, kind of like the Sonny and Cher show with sketch comedy drag and live music. But it was all kind of born out of these performances I used to do with Nick, where we had these personalities of these... Captain and Tennille is kind of the only way I can describe them, of these obliviously affluent white people.
That's my favorite kind to make fun of.
And it kind of developed into these kind of faux bohemian characters that now we're building these shows off of, because we feel like I'm not kind of an electro music person. I like funk music. I like folk music, and at the end of the show we're gonna spin vinyls like Rumors and some Bob Dylan, some fun
so
stuff.
it'll be like shows in a club.
Yeah,
like high fantasy.
Yeah, we want you to hang out.
This one's nice because all those things in the background, those are little mini cocktail umbrellas, right?
They do great. I'm not sure who did this backdrop.
Is this Asia?
No, this is a shot from Booty Call Wednesdays. I believe this was shot in the city. Is the photographer. Juanita Moore commissions these artists to make these crazy backdrops. So people come in on to the back room on Wednesday nights and they get their picture taken, and then you have a new profile picture. This one was an amazing. This was when I was featured in one of Scarlett's numbers. This was a Rumpelstiltskin Rumpelstiltskin number for Fairy Tale Night, where I was stealing Scarlett's baby, and there was a big golden spool prop, and I was supposed to be this like gross Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, you need some hand lotion. Exquisite costumes, and again, this is at Mother. So
yeah, all of these things I've just kind of accumulated, like those claws Beyonce Growl. Oh no, my old roommate Dinah Isis gave to me. She's like, I never use these Halloween claws, and I've used them in so many things.
You never know when these ugly claws can. I'm
again. Borderline hoarder, but everything just keeps coming in so much use. I can't throw anything away.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh yeah.
There's not. Well, these ones are paying about 1,000 photos.
Yeah, that was Joe Arenas. I took this at a fundraiser that I hosted with Dinah Isis for the AIDS Life Cycle. We did this Barracuda number that was also a phone sex. We had like phone sex audio over them. Are we what?
Heart? Group Heart?
We were trying to look a lot like Heart.
Oh, because Barracuda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could definitely be Heart.
Scarlett and I are always trying to play up that Betty and Veronica, blonde and brunette gentlemen prefer blondes kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I've got
those are the
these
same
ones.
claws I wore in the other picture.
Oh, you ruined it because I
spray
saw those claws before. It just, forget it. It's
I
like
spray painted
so
them
cheap.
black and put some gold on it. This was for Stevie Nicks
maybe
night.
you can get away with it that way.
Scarlett and I did this number together,
You did
too.
a couple of numbers,
Yeah.
a couple of photos. Oh, I want to talk about this.
Yes.
These are the most adorable Nob Hill ladies.
They...
Bless their soul, darlings of San Francisco.
We were so honored to be asked to do this show. Juanita Moore did this big curated San Francisco show, and she said, we want Landra and Scarlett to play the San Francisco twins.
Mm-hmm.
She gave us these huge bags of costumes of matching outfits,
Mm-hmm.
And we did bosom buddies with Lucille Ball and B. Arthur.
They were so with it. I remember walking down Bush Street toward the bars over the Tunnel Bar, and they always dined at Uncle Vito's Pizza. And I would be driving by with my window half up in a busy intersection, and I would look at them, and then all of a sudden they'd look right at me and go, "Hi!" Like they've been waiting for me all
Oh my
along.
God!
It's
And they would always
incredible.
eat in unison. It was.
Oh,
they were just so committed to.
I got a couple of pictures, and they all. Here's another one.
We-
Look, even your mannerisms.
Oh no! We sat at my house and practiced drinking and.
Okay, we got to wrap up. We got 15 seconds. So I just want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We have way too much material. So we'll have to come on for part 2. We've got 8 seconds. So again, Brony Mitchell Show. Look out Thursdays at 9 o'clock. Look forward
first
to
Thursday
it.
of every month.
Thank you for being on the show. That was fun.
Yay!
We're done.